I used to believe I was just unlucky in love. Every relationship I had ended the same way. Confusion, distance, sudden coldness, and then silence. No explanation that ever made sense. No closure that felt real. Just gone. At first, I blamed myself. Maybe I wasn't good enough. Maybe I said the wrong things. Maybe I didn't give enough. That's what I told myself for years, until the day I found out the truth. The day I realized I was never the problem. My name is Ethan Miller. I'm 26 years old, and for most of my life, I thought I had one person who always had my back. My sister. Growing up, we were close. She was 2 years older than me. Confident, protective, always outspoken. If someone bullied me in school, she was the one who stood up for me. If I was nervous before an exam, she was the one who calmed me down. Everyone used to say, "You're lucky to have a sister like her," and I believed them. I trusted her more than anyone. When I had my first girlfriend at 19, she was the first person I told. Her name was Lily. Sweet, kind, patient. The kind of girl who made you feel safe just by being around her. I remember bringing Lily home for dinner. Nervous but excited. My sister smiled at her, complimented her, even hugged her. Everything seemed perfect. 3 weeks later, Lily broke up with me. No fight, no argument. Just one quiet conversation where she said, "I think you're hiding things from me, and I can't trust you." I was shocked. "What things?" I asked, but she wouldn't explain. She just left. I was heartbroken, but I told myself, maybe it just didn't work out. Then came the second relationship. Her name was Amanda. We met at work. She was smart, funny, and had this energy that made every day feel lighter. Again, I introduced her to my sister. Again, everything seemed normal. They laughed together, talked, even exchanged numbers, and I thought, this time it's going to last. A month later, Amanda stopped replying to my messages. When I finally confronted her, she said something that confused me even more. "I don't want to be part of your lies, Ethan." Lise? I had never lied to her. At least, not that I knew of. I started to feel something was off, but I still didn't connect the dots, because the one person I trusted the most was the last person I would ever suspect. Then came Rachel. This one was different. We were serious, really serious. We talked about the future, about moving in together, about building something real. And for the first time in my life, I thought, this is it. This is the one. But then one evening, Rachel looked at me with tears in her eyes and said, "I can't believe you did that to me." My chest tightened. "Did what?" She shook her head. "I saw the messages, Ethan. I heard everything." I was stunned. "What messages? What are you talking about?" But she wouldn't show me. She wouldn't explain. She just walked away. That night, something inside me broke. 3 relationships, 3 different women, 3 identical endings, accusations, mistrust, silence. I sat alone in my apartment, staring at my phone, and for the first time, I didn't feel sad. I felt suspicious, because there was one common connection in all of this. One person who had been present in every relationship. One person who had access to every conversation, every moment, every introduction. My sister. I remember staring at her contact name on my phone, my finger hovering over the call button, my heart racing, because a thought I had never allowed before was now screaming inside my head. What if she had something to do with it? I immediately rejected the idea. No, impossible. She loved me. She protected me. She would never do something like that, right? But the more I thought about it, the more the pattern made sense. Every relationship started fine, until she got involved. Every girl suddenly doubted me after talking to her. Every breakup sounded like someone had been whispering things into their ears. I felt a chill run down my spine. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying every moment, every conversation, every detail. And then, I remembered something. Something small. Something I ignored at the time. Rachel once told me, "Your sister warned me about you." At the time, I thought she was joking. Now, it didn't feel like a joke anymore. The next morning, I made a decision. I wasn't going to guess anymore. I wasn't going to assume. I was going to find the truth. No matter how ugly it was, no matter who it involved, even if it meant facing the one person I trusted the most. Because if someone had been destroying my life behind my back, I needed to know, and I had no idea, that the truth I was about to uncover would change everything between me and my sister forever. I remember the exact moment my world started to make sense again. But at the same time, it shattered in a completely different way. Because the more I read those messages on that screen, the more one truth became impossible to ignore. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't misunderstanding. This was a pattern created by my own sister. I sat there in silence, staring at the chat Emily had opened for me. At first, I couldn't even breathe properly. Every message was like a knife. Small, quiet, precise, but deadly. My sister hadn't just ruined one relationship. She had been quietly destroying every single one I ever tried to build. Emily looked at me carefully. "Ethan, say something." But I couldn't. My hands were shaking, my chest felt tight, and inside my head, memories started flooding back. Flashback Hassan Jessica. Jessica suddenly stopped replying to me after 6 months. At the time, I thought she just lost interest. But now, there it was, a message from my sister to Jessica. "Ethan still talks to his ex behind your back. I thought you should know. Don't tell him I told you." That was a lie. I never did that. Flashback #2 Lauren. Lauren broke up with me crying. She said, "I can't be with someone who flirts with my friends." I didn't understand it back then. Now I saw the message my sister sent her. "He's been messaging my friend Kate late at night. I'm worried about you." Another lie. Flashback #3 Megan. Megan ghosted me completely. No explanation, nothing. But in Emily's chat, I saw it again. My sister had told her, "He has anger issues. I've seen him lose control. Please be careful." I've never even raised my voice at anyone. I felt sick, actually sick, like my entire past had been rewritten behind my back. Emily gently held my hand. "Ethan, this is not your fault," but it didn't feel that way. Because all this time, I blamed myself. I thought I wasn't good enough. I thought I was the problem. I swallowed hard and whispered, "Why would she do this?" Emily hesitated. She didn't want to say it, but I needed to hear it. Finally, she said quietly, "I think she doesn't want you to be happy." Those words hit harder than everything else, because deep down, I already knew. Growing up, my sister always competed with me. Grades, attention, approval, even from our parents. And I remember small moments. Mom praising me, and my sister going quiet. Dad congratulating me, and her forcing a smile. At the time, I thought it was normal sibling stuff, but now, it felt darker. "Does she know you found out?" Emily asked. I shook my head. "No." "And what are you going to do?" That question stayed hanging in the air, because I had two choices: confront her immediately, or expose everything properly. And for the first time in my life, I didn't want to react emotionally. I wanted the truth, all of it. So I took a deep breath and said, "I need proof." Emily nodded. I already started collecting it. She opened another folder. Screenshots, voice notes, dates, names, everything. She had been documenting my sister's lies for weeks, even before telling me. And then she said something that changed everything again. "There's more, Ethan." My heart dropped. "More?" She nodded slowly. "Your sister didn't just talk to your exes. She talked to your parents too." I froze. "What?" Emily showed me another message. This one was to my dad. "Ethan has been wasting money again. I think he's hiding something from you." Another one to my mom. "I don't think Ethan is stable enough for a serious relationship right now." I couldn't believe it. She wasn't just ruining my relationships. She was slowly damaging my reputation with my own family. And suddenly, everything made sense. Why my parents sometimes looked disappointed in me for no reason. Why they questioned my decisions. Why they didn't trust me like before. It was all connected. All of it. And it all led back to one person. My sister. I stood up slowly. My body felt heavy. But my mind, for the first time in years, was clear. This ends now. Emily looked up at me. Are you sure you're ready? I nodded. No more silence. No more confusion. It's time she answers for everything. But I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to fight. I wasn't going to lose control. No. I was going to do something much more powerful. I was going to expose the truth in front of everyone, because lies grow in darkness. But the moment you bring them into the light, they burn. I picked up my phone and sent one message to my sister. Family dinner. Tonight. We need to talk. 3 dots appeared instantly. She replied, of course. I stared at that smiling emoji for a long time, because now I knew the truth behind that smile. And tonight, that mask was going to fall. That dinner was the quietest war I've ever walked into. No shouting, no threats, just silence. The kind of silence that hides something dangerous underneath. I arrived exactly at 7 p.m. Same house, same dining table, same family, but nothing felt the same anymore, because now I knew the truth. My dad sat at the head of the table as usual, my mom beside him, and my sister sat directly across from me, smiling, calm, like nothing had ever happened. Ethan, you look tired, my mom said gently. Long day at work? I gave a small nod. Yeah, something like that. My sister leaned forward slightly, concern in her voice. Or at least, what used to sound like concern. Are you okay, Ethan? That voice, that same soft, caring tone that destroyed every relationship I ever had. I looked at her, straight into her eyes, and for the first time in my life, I didn't see my sister. I saw a stranger. I'm fine, I said quietly. Then I added, but I have something important to talk about. My dad raised an eyebrow. What is it, son? My heart started beating faster. This was it. The moment everything changes. I took out my phone, placed it on the table, screen facing up. My sister's eyes flickered for a second, just a second. But I saw it. Fear. Before I say anything, I said calmly, I just want everyone to listen. No interruptions. My dad nodded slowly. All right. My mom looked confused. My sister forced a small smile. Okay, what's going on? I tapped the screen and played the first voice note. My sister's voice filled the room, clear, sharp, undeniable. Jessica, I'm telling you, Ethan still talks to his ex. I just don't want you to get hurt. Silence. Heavy silence. My mom's hand slowly covered her mouth. My dad's expression changed, and my sister froze. I played the second one. Lauren, I've seen Ethan flirt with other girls. You deserve better. Then the third, Megan. He has anger issues. Please be careful. Each message, like a hammer hitting the table. Again, and again, and again. Ethan, my mom whispered, her voice shaking. What is this? I looked at them, my parents, the people who trusted us both, the people who had no idea what had been happening behind their back. This, I said slowly, is the reason every relationship I've ever had ended. My dad turned slowly toward my sister. Is this true? She laughed, a nervous, fake laugh. This is crazy. Ethan, where did you even get these? They could be edited. I didn't let her finish. I slid printed screenshots across the table. Dates, times, phone numbers, everything. I have more, I said calmly. Messages to mom. Messages to dad. My dad picked up one of the papers. His eyes moved across the page, and I saw the exact moment. His heart broke. Ethan is wasting money again. I don't think Ethan is stable. My mom started crying quietly. No. No. This can't be. My sister stood up suddenly. This is all a misunderstanding. Her voice was louder now, defensive, desperate, but I stayed calm. Calmer than I had ever been in my life. Then explain it. I looked straight at her. No lies. No acting. Just tell the truth. For a moment, she said nothing. Her eyes moved from me to our parents, back to me again. And then, her expression changed. The mask finally cracked. Her voice dropped. Low, cold. You really want to know the truth? My dad stood up slowly. Yes, we do. She looked at me, and the jealousy, the anger, The resentment that she had hidden for years finally came out. You always had everything, Ethan. Her voice shook. Mom's attention, Dad's pride, everyone's respect. I stared at her in disbelief. What are you talking about? You were the perfect son, she snapped. The one everyone compared me to. My mom whispered, we never compared. Yes, you did, she shouted. Maybe not in words, but I felt it every day. The room felt smaller, heavier, like the truth itself was suffocating the air. So you destroyed my life? I asked quietly. Tears filled her eyes, but there was no regret in them, only bitterness. I didn't destroy your life, she said. I just stopped you from having what I never had. Those words cut deeper than anything else. My dad slammed his hand on the table. This is insane. You ruined your brother's life out of jealousy? My sister didn't answer, because there was nothing left to say. The truth was already there, out in the open, burning. I stood up slowly, looked at my parents, then at her. Too wish I could say I confronted her immediately after that night in the parking lot. But I didn't. Because the truth is, when betrayal comes from a stranger, it hurts. But when it comes from your own blood, your own sister, it paralyzes you. For 3 days, I didn't call her, didn't text her, didn't even open her messages. But she kept trying. Ethan, are you okay? Did I do something wrong? I feel like you're avoiding me. Reading those texts made my stomach twist, because she was acting like she had no idea what she had done, like she was innocent. And for a moment, I almost believed it. That's what years of manipulation does to you. It makes you question your own reality. But I wasn't crazy. I still had that message from Ryan. I still had the screenshot. And I still had the memory of every relationship that mysteriously fell apart right after she got involved. I needed more proof, not for revenge, for clarity, for closure. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I went through her social media, every account, every comment, every tagged post, every hidden story highlight, and that's when I found the pattern. Under photos of my exes, there she was, commenting things like, "Miss you. You deserve better. Call me when you're free." At first glance, it looked harmless, friendly, supportive. But when I clicked deeper, I realized something disturbing. She had been building private conversations with almost every girl I dated. And not just casual chats, late-night conversations, inside jokes, emotional bonding. She was inserting herself into my relationships from the inside. I felt sick. It was calculated, patient, and intentional. I kept digging, and then I found something that made my hands start shaking. A group chat, an old one, archived. The name of the group was simple, Truth Girls. Inside were 4 members, every serious girlfriend I had ever had, and her, my sister. I scrolled through the messages slowly. At first, it was just small talk, memes, random gossip. Then, my name started appearing. Ethan doesn't tell you everything. He has anger issues. He lies when he feels pressured. He cheated once before. You should be careful. None of it was true, not a single word. But it was believable enough to plant doubt, to poison trust, to slowly destroy everything from the inside. Message after message. I watched how she manipulated them. If I had an argument with my girlfriend, she would text her right after, "Are you okay? You can talk to me." If I forgot a call or got busy with work, he does that a lot. You deserve someone who prioritizes you. If I ever confided in her about my relationship problems, she would take those private details and twist them into something ugly, weaponize them against me. I dropped my phone on the bed and just stared at the ceiling. I felt numb. This wasn't jealousy. This wasn't insecurity. This was sabotage. Deliberate. Repeated. Years of my life destroyed by someone who smiled in my face every single day. But the worst part wasn't even what she did. It was why. I didn't understand it. I still don't. And I needed answers. So I called her. She picked up immediately, her voice soft, almost relieved. "Ethan, finally. I've been worried about you." For a second, I almost lost my nerve. That familiar tone, that caring voice, the same one I trusted my whole life. But then I remembered the messages, the lies, the group chat, and I hardened my voice. Why did you do it? There was silence, a long, heavy silence. Do what? I clenched my jaw. Don't play dumb. I saw everything. Another pause. Then, a small sigh. Not panic, not denial, a sigh, like she was tired of pretending. And then she said something that I will never forget for the rest of my life. I was protecting you. My heart dropped. By destroying every relationship I had? They were never right for you. She replied calmly. You don't get to decide that. I do, she said, her voice suddenly sharp. Because I'm the only one who actually knows you. That's when it hit me. This wasn't about the girls. This wasn't even about me being hurt. This was about control. She didn't want to lose me. Not to friends. Not to love. Not to anyone. You wanted me alone, I said quietly. She didn't answer, but she didn't deny it either. And that silence said everything. I felt something inside me break. Not anger, not sadness. Something deeper. Acceptance. The kind that comes when you realize a person you love is not who you thought they were. I trusted you, I said. And I love you, she replied instantly. But it didn't sound like love anymore. It sounded like possession. I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and said the hardest words I've ever said in my life. I don't feel safe with you anymore. There was a sharp inhale on the other end of the phone. For the first time, she sounded shaken. Ethan, don't say that. I mean it, I said firmly. You crossed a line that can't be undone. You're overreacting. No, I replied quietly. I'm finally seeing clearly. He went silent, and then her voice came back, colder than I had ever heard it before. So what now? You're just gonna cut me off? Your own sister? The guilt hit me instantly, because that's what she always used. Family, blood, loyalty. But I wasn't that same blind version of myself anymore. I'm going to protect my peace, I said. And right now, that means distance. Another long silence. Then she laughed softly, but there was no warmth in it. Let's see how long you last without me. And she hung up. I stared at my phone, my hand trembling slightly, because deep down, part of me was scared. She had been part of every corner of my life. What would life even look like without her? But then I remembered something Ryan told me before he drove away. Sometimes the person ruining your life is the one you trust the most. I exhaled slowly, and for the first time in years, I felt free. But I had no idea. This was only the beginning of what she was capable of.